I share the same opinion with you that a child, especially in the early years, grassroots level,
Yes.
they need to play as many sports as possible.
Yeah.
Get them, get many skills,
Yeah.
learn many skills, because even if it's not pertaining to a sport, you should be able to pick yourself up and stand up.
100%.
The agility,
Yeah.
if you slip and fall, the ability to catch something,
Yeah.
or throw something,
100%.
very, very essential. So all these happens when you play multiple sports.
Yeah.
And when you were talking about the diet, and it's not just training the child and asking whether they do take that information they learned from the coaching and the training, and do they practice it at home.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that the parents be like, that's why we're sending them to you, for you to get it done. But you can't expect wonders if you send the child once a week, twice a week, or even thrice a week, and not do anything when they go back home.
Correct. Right. So, for example, in the swim academy that I'm working with at the moment, we've got our lead squad do between 8 and 9 sessions a week. Okay. Now, a lot of parents may have that mentality of exactly what you just said. Well, they're swimming and training 9 times a week. Why aren't they getting better? Or why aren't they getting better quicker? Why are they overweight? And again, it's like we are being told that we are doing it wrong. Okay, even though they're spending, give or take, 10 to 12 hours with us throughout the week, a couple of hours at school, their direct influence is still you as a parent. It has been since they were born, since the day that they'll move out of the house.
Probably even after.
100%. Right? You become the first line of communication. You have been. From the time they were born. They know who you are more than anyone else. Right? Now, even though coaches have a great amount of influence, they are still going to conform to what they see more. My kids don't see what I eat. Or the kids that I coach, don't see what I eat. I can tell them what to eat. But again, it's more that visual aspect. Okay, but hang on. Mom over there is eating something else, or dad over there is eating something else. Why should they cook something different for me? Or, why should we be eating differently? Again, you don't have to be eating differently, just all eat the same thing, but something healthy. And we struggle with that every day. Still to this day, the most asked presentation for me to do by parents every year, every season, is nutrition. And the thing is, it doesn't matter how much information I put on a PowerPoint presentation and send it to you and give the speech and things like that. It's not going to change until you do. It's not going to change until you, as a parent, has made the decision to buy different groceries. I've made it really simple as well. You go to the fruit and veg section, get all your stuff. You go to the meat section, get your stuff. Get some spices, have fun. It's literally that easy. It doesn't have to be boring. Also, that's where a lot of parents start to think, but eating healthy is extremely boring. It doesn't have to be. There's thousands and thousands of, whether it's Instagram posts, influencers, whatever it may be, who are helping people come up with new ideas of high quality meals with a little bit lower calories. But you as a parent need to make that decision. If you really want your child to excel in life, forget sport, life, become healthier, live longer, move better, you need to make the decision to be the better influence. No one else is going to do it for you. And I think the harsh reality is, in Dubai, we struggle with that the most. We live in this first world country where we are very spoiled. And you can see it everywhere. No place is like Dubai, and everyone will say that. But I think it's also a little bit of, it's creating this environment where we notice that things can be done for us. And that's seems to be a rolling conversation I have with my athletes every year, is they could be extremely upset after they got really bad results from their sporting, whether it's at a competition or even in training. They're trying to do something in particular and it was terrible. But what we need to help them understand is that, well, is your result a reflection of the work that you've put in? Most of the time it is. Most of the time you haven't put the work in because you feel like you've paid your coaches and they're just going to do it for you. It doesn't work that way. You know, we can give the best programs, or we can ask the best athletes in the world for their programs. Usain Bolt, please send us your sprinting program. Michael Phelps, please send us your running program. Swimming program. If you give it to anyone that doesn't have that same mindset, you're not going to get anywhere because you haven't put that kind of work in. So I think that's sort of like the recipe of disaster. I feel like we working with and we're struggling with. It's probably the biggest thing for me as a coach, as a youth development coach, that I struggle with season after season after season, is helping kids understand that, number one, being an athlete isn't just coming and going and coming and going. It's everything else. What you're doing at home is going to impact what you're doing in your sport. And that branches off to your nutrition, to your rehab work, to your sleep, to your hydration. And then the list goes on and on. So the things that you're doing there, is that creating a perfect little step ladder for you to achieve here? Probably not. Most of the time it's not. Then the results that you're getting here, are those the results? Or is it a reflection of what you've done? And it's a yes every time. The only time you can say that it's no is if the kid has decided not to do some self-reflection and decides to blame external factors. Coaches get blamed. They're the first people to get blamed. We know that. We're the first people to get blamed whether it comes to injury, when it comes to times not being good enough, whether it comes to...
When you say times not being good enough, you mean the record time?
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. Personal times. We as coaches will get blamed for that. Because again, that mentality that we've got in this environment is that I've given you some money, you should have made my kid better. What parents don't realize is that they are the ultimate high performance managers for children. You should be taking control of your child's life. 100%. You need to be able to say, okay, this is what we're eating. You're buying the groceries, right? Or you're placing the delivery for them to come and deliver their groceries, whatever it may be. But you're still choosing what goes on that grocery list. You're still choosing what time your child should be going to bed, how much screen time that the child is exposed to. What are they doing between the time of finishing school and going to bed? You're the one deciding all of that. Children, obviously, as they get older, they start to make their own choices, and fantastic. But if they haven't been taught from a young age how to make these decisions, how are they going to progress? So as the ultimate high-performance manager, you need to be able to set the example. And the only way for you to be setting that example is for you to adopt a healthy lifestyle yourself and to be able to say, this is what I want for my kid. How am I going to influence them? And that is through what I see, what my child is seeing me do. So you need to make sure that that visual part of the parenting job is sound. It's got to be fantastic. Obviously, you're going to make mistakes. The kids will know that. And you got to learn from your mistakes. And you got to teach them how to learn from theirs. But if you're in the right direction of being the high performance manager that you want your child, or that you want to be, so that your child can develop in a beautiful manner, then set that good example.